Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Monday the 28th of April. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. In today's news, after months of unrelenting pressure from community groups across the country and more people having extreme reactions, the government has announced it will ban legal highs within 2 weeks. All synthetic drugs will be pulled off the shelves until individual testing had proven each brand low risk. The legislation will be passed under urgency on May the 8th. Community leaders across the Waikato and Bay of Plenty have welcomed the news but questioned why it's taken so long to reach this decision. The announcement from Peter Dunn came just moments after New Zealand First leader Winston Peters called for synthetic drugs to be proven safe before they were sold, and just days before Labour was to release its policy on synthetic cannabis. Hospice Waikato recently announced plans to push forward a redevelopment worth nearly $3 million. Hospice Waikato CEO Craig Tamlin explains why the redevelopment plans have been brought forward.
The redevelopment was what we term phase 2 of the development of Hospice Waikato on Cobham Drive. The first phase was to actually build the hospice and get it up and running, and then the next phase was to meet any increase in demand, and that's exactly what's happened. Over the last 5 years since the first phase was developed, we've got an increase in demand, and so as a result of that, we need to be able to redevelop the site to meet those demands.
Hamilton midwife Kirsten Rouse recently set up the Facebook page Angel Gowns New Zealand and has been flooded with responses from women wanting to give her their wedding dresses so they can be reconstructed into small gowns for stillborn babies or babies who die in early infancy. Angel Gowns volunteer sewer Helena Jennings explains.
The gowns are distributed through the different hospitals, delivery suites, gynaecology wards, newborn units, SANS, which is a support organisation for parents dealing with grief with the death of their baby, and we've been approached by different funeral directors.
Motorists are advised to expect delays of travelling along State Highway 29 near Hastings Road in Tauranga because of repairs to a small slip. The work will be carried out at night only, beginning tonight at 8 p.m. and going through to this Friday, May the 2nd, with the work expected to finish each day at 6:30 a.m. Minimal delays are expected. However, detours are possible via Pies Pa Road and State Highway 36, back onto State Highway 29, or along State Highway 2 through the Route K toll road. In sport, and Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic won a tight battle over the Adelaide Thunderbirds at the Energy Events Centre in Rotorua last night, winning 50-49. The Magic were 3 down in the third quarter and grabbed the lead with 3 minutes to play, managing to hang on for a nervous victory. The Chiefs were well beaten on Friday night, 41-23 by the Brumbies in Canberra, making 2 losses in a row for the defending champions. Coach Dave Rennie says the next 2 weeks will be crucial before heading into a bye after a 9-game stretch. The Chiefs host the Lions in Hamilton this Saturday night. And the Waikato Pistons bounced back after a loss to Taranaki in the NBL last Thursday to beat the Super City Rangers 95-59 at Hamilton Boys High School on Saturday night. Make sure you support the Waikato Pistons. The next home game is this Sunday at Hamilton Boys High School. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. Taking a look at the marine forecast now, with Raglan expecting a westerly gradually easing to 10 knots, southwest swell becoming heavy for a time, high tide 9:59 a.m. Over the hill to Tauranga now, and a westerly easing to 15 knots, high tides at 6:55 a.m. Still to come on Central News, we find out about a pamper day for mums of sick children and speak with a world-class rower. That's next on Central News. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. The Tauranga Arts Festival's held every second year, and this year they're going to hold a literary festival. Hilary spoke with co-organiser Sandra Simpson about the popular event.
The Escape Weekends come about because the Tauranga Arts Festival is held once every 2 years, and we thought it would be really nice to do something that was fun in the off year, just to keep the name in front of the public, but also to really bring out the Readers and Writers program. The festival director, Joe Bond, has described it as being the hidden gem of the festival, because the festival's 10 days long. There's heaps going on when it's on, and the Readers and Writers is about 4 days. So we thought, well, we'll bring that out, give it its own weekend in winter, when people curled up with a good book or wanting to find what to read, extend the types of authors and genres that they know and read, and to have some ideas challenged. We've got a performance piece coming along as well, but it's all based on the spoken word.
Spoken word, what's that?
Well, we've got 2 days at Queen's Birthday weekend, so the Saturday and the Sunday, and the daytime sessions are all about readers and writers, so authors speaking, being interviewed. On Saturday evening there's a panel discussion which is a bit different, and that's about the state of this country's waterways, and we've got an environmentalist and an economist and a farmer and a cultural advisor. Which means I think that there's going to be lots of really big ideas aired during that session, and it should really challenge the people listening. And something we like to do is always give the audience chance to ask questions, so that will make it fun as well. And the performance piece that we've got coming, which we're very excited about, is called The Bookbinder, and it won the best of the Fringe Festival in Wellington just recently. It's a one-man show, and it's going to take place in a bookshop, which is really cool for us. Books Aplenty have been associated with the festival for a very long time. They've been sponsor of Readers and Writers. They're great people to work with. They know their stuff so well, and they're very organised. And so when we said to them, look, this is just a small piece of theatre, intimate theatre for 20 people, could we hold it in your store? They jumped at it, and they're very excited about it. And that has appeal for everyone, maybe from 8 through to 108. It's just one of those things where you're being told a story, but there's all kinds of things going on. There's shadow play, there's sound, there's pop-up paper art, and it just looks delightful. So we're very excited to have them coming.
Osteopathy used to be considered an alternative medicine. However, with more and more people seeking treatment from osteopaths for injuries, it's now a mainstream legislated healthcare choice. I spoke with Oliver Russell from the Osteopathic Clinic in Hamilton about the recent New Zealand inaugural Osteopathy Awareness Week.
Just to allow us an excuse, basically, to tell New Zealand about osteopathy. We feel that we've been on the scene for a fair bit of time now, and nobody really knows what we do, or very few people do. And so we have a really good society as formed now, and they've been pushing osteopathy for us wonderfully.
What are the defining principles of osteopathy?
The principles govern osteopathy, in fact, are structure governs function, which is a mechanical principle, which is if you have a perfect structure, you have perfect function. And any structural restrictions mean functional restrictions. Rule of the artery, which means good blood supply, good drainage and good blood supply to an area means good health. The body has its own medicine cabinet, and the body is a unit.
Who can receive treatment?
Anyone can receive treatment. There's very little we do that is in any way intrusive. It's very safe. We tailor our treatments to every patient that we see, so there's no reason why anybody couldn't receive treatment.
What ailments can be treated with osteopathy?
We are historically renowned for treating physical musculoskeletal ailments, but generally, because of those principles, we also treat any sort of gut stuff and things. We don't ever use the word cure. We're not looking to in any way be salvation for anyone, but what we're trying to do is just get it working as well as it can, and when it's working as well as it can, we've done as much as we can.
Tell me about the Osteopathic Council of New Zealand that was established 10 years ago. Why is it so important?
Historically in New Zealand, previous to 10 years ago, we had no legislation governing osteopaths, so anyone could call themselves an osteopath, which meant that people who felt they had a gift or had done a weekend course or whatever called themselves osteopaths It did us no end of damage. A lot of orthopaedic surgeons still don't refer to us because they have seen so much damage done by so-called osteopaths previous to 10 years ago, and actually it's now starting to turn around.
Where can someone find a registered trained osteopath?
Well, the Osteopathic Society is where I'd start. It was just called Osteopaths New Zealand. Website's a great way to start. Or the Osteopathic Council has their own website. Generally, any osteopath advertising has to be an osteopath nowadays, so you're pretty safe.
More and more people are being referred to osteopaths from your medical peers. Why do you think this is? Since we became registered, I think we have actually really we've shone in their eyes, I think, and we're getting referred from doctors all over the place. It's great. We're working really closely with them. We refer to them, and we get we work. We speak the same medical language, and they appreciate that. Still to come, we discover more about world-class Waikato, and next on Central News, we find out about a survey on patients' experiences at Tauranga Hospital. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. Tauranga Hospital is 100 years old this year and has just completed a survey to find out what patients' experiences have been like recently. Hilary spoke with Trevor King, a patient who took part in the study, to find out more.
What were you most impressed with your hospital experience?
I was in Waikato for 5 days, and I found that the hospital was wonderful. It was nice and new, which you'd expect, easy to get around in, and it was a good environment. When I came back to Whakatane Hospital, the staff were wonderful there also. The doctors were wonderful, everybody was wonderful. And I found, because it was an old part of the hospital, it didn't seem to match up. It was very downgrading when I first went into it. But apparently now the new hospital is ready to go, so I'm not looking forward to going back, but to go and see it in operation.
You had quite a big goal to achieve, but you actually achieved it.
My operation was on the 14th of October 2013, and I counted out 12 weeks from that date, and I wanted to get back onto the bowling green, outdoor bowls, because I love my bowls. And on that day that the 12 weeks was up, I went and put my name in for a game. I played at Whakatane Bowling Club, and we won the tournament. And I think that was a great achievement, but it came with the help of a lot of people. My cardio man, Dr. Tish, my surgeon, Mr. Ahmed El Gamel, my doctors, Dr. Graham Jelly, Dr. Graham Chris McKnight, and also my physio people who helped me. Also the two people who were inspired me at the end, Cheryl and Renica, who helped me a lot through the final stages. But they all deserve congratulations from me, and I thank them very much.
Can you just briefly tell me about your experience from Waikato and then you had to go to Whakatane?
After I'd finished my term, my recovery in Waikato, they decided to transfer me from Waikato to Whakatane, nearer to home. I thought I was going home by vehicle, my own vehicle, but that didn't happen. They said, oh no, you've got to go by ambulance. Now, I didn't know that the ambulance had to come from Whakatane to Hamilton to pick me up. So I waited in the waiting room for quite a long time. But we eventually got there, and I think it was about 9 o'clock at night before I got back to Whakatane. Just one of those things.
Colours Hair Company in Hamilton has come up with an idea to help mums of sick children remember they are beautiful. They've teamed up with True Colours Children's Health Trust and are offering 50 mums a chance to be pampered. I spoke with owner of Colours Hair Company, Joanne Rusden, and True Colours Children's Health Trust CEO, Cynthia Ward, to find out more about the ways True Colours supports children with serious illnesses and their families. Joanne, tell me about the Pamper Day that Colours Hair Company has planned.
So the Pamper Day that we're doing all came about because as a team here, we wanted to give back to our community. So we needed to find a charity to do that, and we linked in and joined with True Colours. We think they do a great job and they're beautiful people, and we thought it was awesome. So what we're going to do is on Monday the 19th of May, we're opening, and we've got spaces for 50 mums, and these are mums that have seriously sick children that spend so much time giving out they don't have time to think about themselves. So what we want to do is give them a day, we give them a complimentary blow wave or a cut and blow wave. We're going to give them yummy coffee and nice food, and give them hand massages and paint their fingernails and just make them feel really, really special. And for an hour, they just don't get to think about anyone but themselves. We're then going to finish it, we're going to give them a Polaroid photo of them so they can put it on their fridge, and on those moments that they're really exhausted and really tired, they actually remember that they're a beautiful human being.
How did you come up with this idea?
I worked for L'Oreal for 7 years, and as a company worldwide, they take 1 day a year. The whole company stops all over the world, and it's called Citizen Day, and they give back to the community. And every time I did it, I just felt moved. I just thought it was a really, really beautiful thing to do. And so when I bought the company last July, I put it to the team, and all of the team were just like, oh, could we? And yeah, they were excited. So I just have a team full of people with big hearts that want to do it. So yeah, that's how it all came to be.
Cynthia, tell me about True Colours.
True Colours is an organisation that works with seriously ill children, so supporting seriously ill children and their whole family around the impact of that illness. It's fantastic with what Tajan is doing and the team, and it's been a fantastic team to work with, I have to say. So these children are seriously unwell and so in and out of hospital a lot, and this is a real huge impact on the whole family. So True Colours supports around the emotional support, psychologically, as well as it's a nursing service as well.
What does a day like this mean to a mum of a sick child?
Mums who have sick children have very little time for themselves, and so just even to get a shower is really difficult. To by the time they've given either treatments in the morning, because lots of these children have complex conditions at home, and so they have to give lots of medications and things like that. So to come here and be pampered for themselves, because they have no time for themselves. They, like I said, barely able to get into the shower, constantly looking after their child, trying to balance the rest of the household as well. So this is amazing for them. It's a fantastic opportunity for them to have some time for them.
For more details on the Pamper Day or to nominate someone, contact True Colours. Up next on Central News, we catch up with Toby Cunliffe-Steele about the 3-Leg Challenge. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. World Class Waikato is a high-performance athlete sustainability organisation based in Hamilton. It's been established to expose the region's top athletes to the resources required to remain sustainable. I recently spoke with Toby Cunliffe-Steele, who represents New Zealand as part of the Mighty Lighties under-23 rowing duo, about the 3-Leg Challenge.
World Class Waikato, it's a high-performance athlete sustainability organisation. So what they do is they take the high-performance athletes and provide them with the resources that they need to remain sustainable. So for athletes like myself, that's employment opportunities, interview skills and the likes of that, further education to help us manage our lives outside of the sport itself.
What's the Next Generation Challenge about?
It's New Zealand's largest crowdfunding experiment. So what they've done is they've taken 12 next generation athletes, including myself, from 12 different sports. So would I be a BMXer, a track cyclist, and myself in rowing. And then they've teamed them up with 12 different local charities. So myself, I'm teamed up with Child Cancer, and we work together to raise funds for our various causes, and then the team with the most funds at the end of the challenge wins the challenge.
Why are you doing it?
The idea or the opportunity to work with child cancer is awesome with my past experience having battled cancer myself. And then the opportunity to raise funds to help cover the likes of my rowing fees to allow me to compete internationally, I'd be silly to turn that down.
And what are you in training for at the moment?
I'm in training for the Under-23 World Championships in Varese, Italy. So we leave New Zealand on the 8th of July and then we'll be competing from the 23rd to the 28th in Varese, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Tell me about the Next Generation launch on May the 1st.
So we're going to start off with what we're calling as a Kickstarter dinner. So at Sky City Hotel, we're going to create a dinner where we're going to have, hopefully sell quite a few tickets and have lots of support there. And then we'll just make everybody aware of the challenge and what will be happening, do a few silent and live auctions, and then we'll also initiate our pages which people can donate to.
And the online fundraising challenge?
Yeah, correct. So we're going to be using Telecom's Give a Little as a platform, and then each team will be creating a page, and that's one of the that's where our donations will go, and the total of our funds will be calculated at the end of the month or the challenge.
How can people help and get involved?
Oh, well, there's many ways. Firstly, I guess it's obvious they could make a donation to our page, which we'd be very grateful for. Secondly, they could donate items that we could auction off at the dinner that'll be on the 1st. Thirdly, they can help spread awareness, whether via their social media or through our social media. Basically, all help is more than appreciated. So if they have any ideas or they'd like to contribute and are unsure how, just let us know.
Now, you've already started fundraising with the 3-leg challenge. Tell me about this.
So the 3-leg challenge is one of the challenges that we have decided to do as an event on the side of the actual Next Generation Challenge itself. So myself, the BMXer Dan Franks and the track cyclist Jamie Nielsen are teaming together, and we're going to have a competition at the Avanti Drome, and basically the three of us will be competing in the 3 different sports and try and get a bit of exposure around the event.
The 3-leg challenge is on May the 11th at the Avanti Drome and is free to attend. For more details, see the Facebook page 3-leg challenge. Taking a look at the weather for the Waikato now. Hamilton, you'll have showers with westerly winds clearing in the afternoon. Expect a high of 17 degrees and an overnight low of 12. Paroa, showers, some heavy clearing in the afternoon and fine spells developing. Westerlies dying out, your expected highs 18 with an overnight low of 6. Matamata, the same for you, but your expected high is 16 and a low of 5. Te Awamutu and Tokoroa, showers, some heavy clearing in the afternoon and fine spells developing. Westerlies dying out. Te Awamutu, expect a high of 17, a low of 2 overnight. Tokoroa, your high is 14 with just a low of 3. Taking a look at the Bay of Plenty now, Tauranga expects some showers, some heavy clearing in the afternoon with dying westerlies. Expect a high 18 and a low of 8 degrees. Te Puke, the same for you with a high of 16 degrees and an overnight low of 8. That's Central News for today. Make sure you join us on our Facebook page and let us know if there's news or an event in your community. Thanks for joining me. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. Ka kite anō.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.